As our questions are being prepared, I want to ask Reverend Kevin and Martha Creek, what fascinates you the most about healing? What's one of the most fascinating things about healing or wholeness, about our physical, spiritual beings to you?
That anything is possible and that it has complete irrelevance in the big scheme of things.
The statement that I heard years ago, there is nothing to be healed, only God to be revealed. And that awareness is fascinating.
And I would say for me, it is this concept that healing is the natural process in the body. Like when even a cut happens, the body naturally begins to heal. We try to figure out what to do to assist it, but you're really assisting this unnamed force in doing what it knows perfectly how to do. So
I have another fascination, and that is that I sometimes think and then witness others believing that we know what healing is. And I don't believe that anymore.
wow.
So along the lines of there's no healing to be done, only God to be revealed, that in any situation or any circumstance that we're in, peace is possible. So we could relax a bit.
That's a good point, because that brings up the idea of what is healing, what is true healing, what is true wholeness.
Well, I look at wholeness as the recognition of total well-being, the recognition and expression of total well-being in all aspects of our lives, in mind and body and in affairs. So to live with an unbroken awareness that no good thing is left out. And so when I am whole, I am living from a place where no good thing is left out.
Excellent. Sure. Thank you. Are you ready for your first treat? Let's see who gets the first divine appointment. It's like the lottery, but it's church style. Are you going to be as excited if this is your question as if you won the lottery? If you're brave, I want to hear a, woohoo, I won! If you're brave, and if this was a private question, that's okay, just duck a little bit. How do I heal old hurts to stop picking the scab? Any lotto winner out there? No, that's okay. We're going to help out here, maybe. Or maybe we're not going to do anything, we're just going to talk. Right, Martha?
Well, it's an important question, and so I'm really considering it, and I'm aware of that you have your answer. So there's no one up here that has your answer. And I absolutely believe that you do know what to do. And not only do you know what to do, you know how to do it. And from my own direct experience, I quit picking the scabs when I quit making them wrong. And when I stopped opposing them and began to accept them, even though I can't understand how or why things happen, that I accept that there's a purpose to it that will be revealed in its own time. And there's something far more interesting to talk about and to be about than the scabs.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Charles. What if you have something, a disease, say, that can't be healed? You got a
Was that for me?
Did you hear that?
Okay. So I'm not sure where you want to go with the question, but what if you have something that can't be healed? You have something that can't be sick as well. And there is an aspect of your being that is not touched by anything that's happening in the physical dimension of your world, and you are not limited to your physical being. That there's a part of you that wants to break through all of the trappings of the physical being if you would become more conscious and aware of that. And so my thought would be to become more aware and to focus more of your attention on that part of you that cannot be sick. God is my health. I can't be sick.
What role does anger or fear play in healing? I got my lottery winner. Someone give that lady $100. What role does anger or fear play in healing? So I think that anger and fear play a huge role in healing because our emotions are, they're pointing signs. They're like flashlights illuminating the aspects of self that we are ready to accept, that we are ready to love, that show some of these old hurts, past injuries. So when we have anger or fear, if we can, and this is my practice, if I can take a moment to breathe into that anger or fear, rather than use the easy way and say, oh, this anger or fear is about you and what you've done wrong, right? This is all about you and what you've done wrong. And that's fine if we want to play that game, but that game leaves me powerless. It leaves me absolutely powerless because I cannot change or control how you show up. One, how you show up from your end, but the only thing I can shift is how you show up in my field and how I experience it you. So what I can acknowledge is that everything that brings me anger or fear does not bring everyone anger or fear. And if it doesn't bring everyone anger or fear, then it's not truth and it's not principle. Then what it is my journey to look into that, to breathe into that, and to recognize that gift, to say namaste to my guru in the field of consciousness, and to say, thank you, what is mine to do here? And let me trace that feeling all the way back, and let me keep asking the questions to find out, where have I felt this before? When have I felt this before? How have I used this in my life to either get love, to avoid my power, whatever it is, but to meditate upon the deeper questions for that gift and say, thy will be done. Here I am listening, I am receptive, I am here to receive my good, but to follow that path of inquiry back inside to those emotions, to allow the gift of those emotions to be there, but certainly not to push them away. And it's ironic to say don't be afraid of fear, but it's not about pushing them away or wishing them gone even. Because then really when we wish anger and fear gone, we're saying, step back, transformation. I'm not ready for you. Back up, expansive love. I'm not ready to receive you. But when we say, bring it on, here I am, there is no part of me that is going to be killed by this. There is no part of the all-consciousness that is not strong enough for this. Then those gifts of anger and fear become gifts, and they become my transformation faculties. Can I deplete my energy? From now on, anyone can take any of these, okay? Okay. Can I deplete my energy by laying on of hands? Can I take on evil entities when I open myself to spiritual things? Praying for healing.
Thought causes all effect. So whatever you believe, that will be your experience. And that doesn't make it reality. That makes it BS. BS, belief system. And I so love these questions. I'm still 3 questions back. They're so good to contemplate these questions. What if I have something that can't be healed? What if you didn't mind? What if you didn't mind that you accept physical as physical, the law of physical is what it is? And then my business and my part is how I relate to that. So even in a disease, I don't have to be diseased. And this notion of anger, it's like anger is an effect of a thought. So we can talk about anger and the effects of anger for the rest of our lives, or look at the thought that caused the anger and then work at the level of cause and see who's off. I love the questions. What was the last one?
This is the next one. Are you ready for the next one? Being as a way seems opposite to doing, manifesting. Not the same, question mark? So being in a way seems opposite to doing, manifesting. And the question, I think, is, are they not the same, being and doing, manifesting?
I hope I hear this. I refer to this as the spiritual order of operation. Anybody remember algebra? Anybody regret you took the... But as I hear that, being precedes doing, doing precedes having. And so I always connect into who am I being, because I believe that whoever I am being is causal of the actions that I'm going to take, whether I'm conscious of that or not. So if I'm being fearful, my actions are likely to be reactive. If I'm being brave, my actions are likely to be courageous. So being, doing, and then the results, having, is what is yielded from my way of being. So I always think it's very important to become conscious of ways of being, because my ways of being guide how I show up. Can you see that? I don't really get a question from that, but I hope that serves the person with the question.
Do we create our universe each day, or is it created before we came?
So what I believe is I create my experience of the universe. And it's a big difference. So if I go out to go and the tire's flat on my car, I don't have any notion that I created that flat tire. For if I had the power to create the flat tire, I would have uncreated it. So what I believe is I will look at the flat tire and call it something. And if I call it a problem, I've just created a reality of problem. And if I look at it and call it no problem, then I've created an experience of no problem. And then it leaves me humble and grateful and resourceful.
Just like this Sunday. I gotta say, just like this Sunday, what do you do when you have two fantastic, amazing Unity leaders coming to town at the same time, and you are supposed to be at the service at the same time as well? You consider it not a problem, but an amazing opportunity. Spirit works in amazing ways. My 15-year-old daughter is in constant turmoil with peer pressure at school. What can I do to help her? It's a good one for you, Kev.
Thank you.
He has little ones.
Well, help might not be what she needs right now. Our perception of help is that someone is helpless. So I think there's a distinction between help and support. And support may look like being her encourager, to let her know what she has within herself, a place that she can rise to and meet those challenges of peer pressure, because she will not live in a world where that ceases to exist. But to have her become very conscious of her own inner voice, very comfortable with her skin and being in her own skin, and also recognizing who and what she is. I think parents have a great role to play in helping to shape the spiritual identity of young people, such that when they enter into the world, they can truly be in the world, but not of it.
My mom is an educator, has been for her whole life, and we've done a lot of spiritual reflections together, and she always said that if parents recognize this, they would be very, very mindful that a child's experience of their parents kind of goes down in the experiential record as being their first understanding or experience of God. So if it's a punishing, retribution, push and pull, all of this, or if it's this unconditional loving, and that's where a lot of beginning concepts of God come from, is our relationships with how our parents be in relationship with us.
And practically, the answer that arises is to keep your own mind clear and regulate your own anxiety. And notice what a calm, sane presence can do for another human being.
That's big.
Particularly the teenagers.
That's big. Yeah. Because when we have fear and when we have concern for someone so deeply, in a sense, what we're saying, like Kevin said, that's me not trusting that the absolute presence and spirit and power of that your source is right there with you. Regardless of your age, your source has nothing to do with your age. Your source is no less present in you than it is in me. No less present, no less powerful. And so if I can look at you with that clarity and that conviction, that is like a tuning fork saying, see what I see what's there, that's deep support. But this fear of, that just tells someone, yeah, we should be very scared. Right. How do I heal the dark cloud of depression and connect spiritually?
Let me know.
I love it.
It's not, depression is an effect of believing thoughts that are false. So question what you believe. Can you absolutely know that it's true? And who would you be if you didn't believe those thoughts? It's the opposite of depressed. And whoever you are, there's support here for you. So be in touch with us, some of us, that can hold a space in these questions, and stay this afternoon and empower yourself with this technology, this way out. Eckhart Tolle calls this work a sword. The work works like a sword to cut right through the illusion. So see for yourself that that could be a possibility for you.
It's a really good one. Why does God put so much on me? I know He says He won't give us more than we can handle, but it's been too much.
Well, that's a perspective. That's a way of looking at it. I would have to differ with God putting something on you. I think we are the ones who place ourselves in various positions, and our experiences are the reflections of our beliefs. And so I don't believe that there is an external deity thinking of ways to overload you to see if you can be made stronger. I don't believe that. I do see that we call our experiences into our lives because there is something that we need to grow into in order to have ourselves prove to ourselves what we ourselves have arranged for ourselves. And when we want a new experience, call having it lighter. I love, I think it was, what's the
Like a light
coach?
touch.
She says, would it be all right with you, Maria Nemeth, would it be all right with you if your life got easier? Being willing to just cross-examine yourself with that question. Most of us would say no, because we wouldn't trust a world where things could move in effortless ease. But would it be all right with you if your life got easier? Would it be all right with you if you could live outside of struggle as a way of life? Struggle happens, but it doesn't have to be a way of life for you. And I have to get God off of the hook, because God did not make you struggle. And so it is.
Good job. All right, so everyone pray this up. This is our last question. I know we could sit here all day. I call this like the Oprah Talk Show Sundays. I love it. So pray it up, because there's one more question, so we're knowing the right question is the question for each one of us. I want to know, what do you know when it is your time to give up? What do you know when how do you know when it's your time to give up all the worldly things and devote your entire self to God? Good question.
Oh, yeah.
Are you listening? When you do.
That's good. Shall I? Yeah, just a bar on that. And then this distinction between worldly things and godly things. That what if it was all sacred? What if there's no duality at all? And choose to give up that concept and just recognize that you're an omnipresent God at all times, in all ways, all expressions. That you're playing in God's cosmic playground. And you have the opportunity to be available for God, whether you're in a Rolls-Royce Phantom 5 limousine 1967 or you're in Gandhi's moccasins. It's all God. All good right now.
Can I get an amen? Thank you.
I want to share what shifting the question why. I refer to why as a portal to hell. So I replaced it with why not. And it's changed me and my life experience. So when it comes, why not me? And if anybody else could do it, they would. So it's what's been assigned to me. Why not me?
Why not me? So let's breathe that in. Are you ready to say why not me together? Why not me? And so it is. Amen. I thank you, Reverend Kevin. I thank you, Martha Creek.